You know that job system our parents and grandparents grew up with? That whole idea of clocking in at 9, out at 5, and staying with one company for your whole career. Well, what if I told you that entire system is quietly vanishing? It's not some big, dramatic collapse. Instead, it's being replaced by something totally new. A world where what you can do matters so much more than where you show up to work. So let's dive into this new skill economy.
And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Is the classic 9-to-5 job actually obsolete? Now, millions of people obviously still work this way, but the ground is definitely shifting under our feet. The real story isn't about whether it's dead, it's about what's being built on top of the old foundation.
And the reason for this massive shift is actually pretty simple. The 9-to-5 was designed for a completely different world. It was a fantastic invention for the industrial age, a system built around factories where the most important thing was getting everyone in the same place at the same time to do the same repetitive tasks. But that's just not how we create value anymore, is it?
Okay, so first up, the fading 9-to-5. Let's get into exactly why this system that seems so permanent is starting to break down.
See, that industrial model was perfect for getting the most out of an assembly line. But the problem today is that value isn't created by pulling a lever over and over. It's created in our heads, through creativity, through problem solving, and through specialized digital skills that you just can't standardize.
There are really four major forces that are just dismantling this old structure, like cracks spreading through a dam. You've got technology advancing at an incredible pace, the internet making location almost irrelevant, a huge shift in what people actually want from their work life, and of course, companies looking at their bottom line.
Let's just quickly break those down. First, AI and automation are getting scarily good at doing routine, predictable work. Second, because of the internet, you don't need to be in an office in New York to work for a company in New York. Third, people are just done with soul-crushing commutes and rigid schedules. They want flexibility. And finally, companies are starting to wonder why they're paying for huge office buildings and the high overhead of full-time staff when there might be a better way.
So you put all those pressures together, and the result is actually pretty straightforward. The traditional 9-to-5 is just not the automatic default career path anymore. It's becoming one option among many.
So, if the old system is fading, what exactly is taking its place? Well, that brings us to part 2, the new skill economy. And it's not chaos that's replacing the old way. It's a whole new system with a completely new set of rules. And just to be clear, it's not a simple one-for-one replacement. It's better to think of it as 3 massive fundamental shifts happening all at the same time. And they're completely changing how we think about what a job even is. This right here, this visual, sums up the entire change perfectly. We are moving away from an old model that cared about your credentials, your degree, your job title, the number of hours you punched on a clock, and we're moving to a new model that only really cares about 3 things: your skills, your output, and the actual results you can deliver. Your portfolio is the new resume.
So this is the first huge shift, the skill-based economy. In this world, valuable skills, like being able to code an app or edit a viral video, or analyze a complex data set, that's the real currency. If you can deliver the final product, nobody really cares if it took you 2 hours or 10 hours, or if you did it at 3 in the morning.
The second shift is what you could call distributed employment. Instead of working for one boss for 30 years, more and more people are building their careers by working with multiple clients on different projects. This isn't about being unemployed. It's about piecing together a portfolio of work that gives you way more control and freedom.
And this third shift, this one is the real game changer: digital ownership. This is all about breaking that direct link between your time and the money you make. So instead of selling your hours, you build digital assets. Things like a YouTube channel, an online course, or an ebook that can earn you money even when you're not actively working on them.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world? How are people actually making money now? Let's get out of the clouds and look at some concrete examples. In this new landscape, income doesn't just come from one single source, like a paycheck. Instead, think of it as a portfolio of different streams. We can pretty much group these into 4 main pathways: the creator economy, selling online services, creating digital products, and a hybrid model that mixes and matches.
So let's run through these. You've got the creator economy, think YouTubers or TikTokers building an audience. Then you have online services, where you're basically a freelancer selling your skills like graphic design or writing. Digital products means you create something once, like an ebook or a course, and sell it over and over. And finally, hybrid work is where you might have a stable part-time job, but also have your own side projects going. This quote right here gets to the absolute heart of why digital products and content are so powerful. It's all about leveraged income. You put in the hard work upfront to build an asset, and that asset can then pay you back again and again and again. It completely flips that old time for money equation on its head.
And this is the ultimate goal for so many people now. It's no longer this black or white world of I have a job or I don't have a job. It's about building a more resilient financial life by diversifying, by creating a whole portfolio of income streams so you're never totally dependent on just one.
So, what does all of this mean for you personally? Well, it really requires a pretty big shift in mindset. You have to start thinking of yourself less like an employee and more like like a business of one. This new world really favors a specific type of person. It's the person who can learn fast, who can adapt on the fly, and who is constantly building useful, relevant skills. Your ability to learn and pivot is becoming the only real job security there is.
Look, a degree might still help open a door, but what keeps you in the room and gets you the next great opportunity is your proof of work. That means your portfolio of projects, your track record, the tangible results you can actually point to. The question is shifting from what do you know to what have you actually built?
Because of all this, we need to stop asking the old questions. That old framework of just what job should I get, and then climbing some predefined ladder is just becoming obsolete for a lot of people.
The much better question, the one that unlocks all the opportunity in this new economy, is this one. What valuable problems can I solve for other people? Because at the end of the day, money always follows value.
So when you boil it all down, this is the great shift we're all living through. We are moving away from a world of fixed schedules, rigid job titles, and dependency on a single employer. And we're moving toward a future that's all about flexibility, skills, and ownership. Understanding this isn't about being scared, it's about seeing the opportunity. The real question is, are you ready to start building for it?